Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to continue going through my record collection, starting with Boston. I left off with, who did I leave off with last time? Mike Bloomfield. Yeah, that was a cool one. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with that. Hopefully today I'm lint free. I noticed in one of my last videos, record store day, it was such a long day. I was kind of out of it, I think just mentally. And I watched the video back after I uploaded it and realized I had all this dog hair all over me. So hopefully the room's clean, I'm clean today, so we're ready to go. So anyway, we're gonna start with, like I said, Boston, so let's go. Okay, so welcome back. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and start with Boston. I have one Boston album. This was their debut album, and it's considered one of the best debut albums of all time. I mean, there's just not one bad song on the whole thing. The production's awesome. You might recognize the album cover. This is a picture disc. I don't usually, actually now I don't really buy picture discs because usually the sound quality on these things are not so good. I think these are probably made just to be more of display pieces. I got lucky with this one. This one actually sounds pretty good. I don't have any pops on it or anything like that. Usually what I find with picture discs, you get like a muddy sound sometimes and pops and like a high-end kind of sound. So I don't know if that's the record suffering because of the cool picture, but it definitely makes a nice display piece. So that's the Boston album's original record cover. This was the original record cover. This came out in 1976, and I did a little research on the front, and now I'm really seeing it. I never noticed it on the album before, but if you take a look, I thought these were all just little floating spaceships. But what I learned is this is a guitar, and the neck is kind of going out that way. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then they did this to make it look like a spaceship. But also what I learned is up here is a little globe at the top, and what that actually is the city of Boston. So that's what that was. I always just thought it was cool spaceships, but after research, found it out. So I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if everything's getting sucked into a black hole or what's happening there, but anyway, this is a great album. Played it recently before I did this video, and I was happy to hear that once again that the sound quality on here was really good. And I'm gonna go ahead and take it out of this plastic because after a while that's gonna wear on the album, so I'll put it in a padded sleeve. So anyway, Boston, definitely recommend this. And the next one I have here is David Bowie. And there's some interesting things about this Bowie album. And before I kind of get into it, Bowie is kind of, it's sometimes when it depends on my mood with Bowie. And I never hate listening to Bowie or not listening to Bowie, but there's times where I'm so into it, I just love the songs. And then there's some songs that are like, eh. And that seems to be with his albums. They weren't always like completely solid albums, in my opinion. This is just my opinion. I know there's huge Bowie fans out there, and I'm not bashing Bowie. It's just my music ear that I'm talking about. You know, like this album in particular. Now, this was originally released in 1969, I believe, as David Bowie. This was not the original cover here. And if I do my editing right, I'll put a picture of the album cover, the original album cover, right about here somewhere. This was actually the later release. This is what the cover looked like. The first one was called David Bowie's, released in '69, and what I read was it wasn't promoted properly, and even though you had the huge song Space Oddity on here, it didn't do anything. It was pretty much a commercial failure. So David Bowie continued obviously to go on and make more records, and then after I think the success of Ziggy Stardust, it was re-released, and he re-released it as Space Oddity. And this is not quite the Space Oddity 1. This again, this is when I first started getting back into records. I purchased a picture disc. And this one, again, like the Boston, actually sounds good. But I have other picture discs. I have like a Michael Jackson Thriller and other ones that it's just poppy and doesn't sound good. So it's playable, but it's kind of annoying in some parts. So anyway, so this is the David Bowie. It's kind of cool. You have the picture disc in here. And again, I'm gonna replace this with a better sleeve. I just don't like having the plastic. There's no padding. It kind of sticks to the record. So think about it, every time you pull this record out, it's gonna be, you know, kind of rubbing up against the vinyl. It's going to be working on, I don't know if it can actually take off the picture after time, but I'd rather not take a chance. So, and that's Bowie there, and that's Bowie there. And this came with, the inside came with a sleeve. I believe it's just all the lyrics maybe to that. So it is kind of a cool, it would look good up on a shelf or something if I had something like that. So the inside of it came with, yeah, these are lyrics, cool lyric sheet in pink, and got David hanging out there, and I guess he's there too. So we have that. And it also came with a cool poster. I haven't unfolded it, but I'm assuming, yeah, it's just his big old face. It's the front, it's the album again. So it's pretty cool if I ever want to put up a Bowie picture, poster. There we go. So we'll put David Bowie right there. See what he looks like. The next David Bowie I have here is The Man Who Sold the World. This came out in 1970. The album itself that I have, it's obviously a reissue. This is the original sleeve, but I replaced it. Actually, that's weird. I must have. But I don't usually have this kind of, this brand, but it does look paper, but it actually has some padding in there. We'll check it out and see if I actually like that. But anyway, don't want to get too nerdy on you. It says it's on black vinyl. It's a reissue. This sounds really good. I would say favorites on this album, oh, The Man Who Sold the World was definitely the title track was the big one on here. This is another album where I can put it on and enjoy it, but it's not, the songs aren't all that catchy for me. So it's kind of like the mood thing. If I'm in the mood, I'll listen to the whole album. If I just want to hear, The Man Who Sold the World, I'll pop it on. So that's that one. And like I said, this album does sound very good, this reissue. I'm not sure what year this was reissued. Yeah, sorry, kind of reading it, but yeah, not sure what year that was reissued. And the next thing we have here is Hunky Dory. This came out in 71. And another picture, and you can tell he was going for that mystery kind of look, man, woman kind of thing. Make people think, Bowie was always changing his image, doing different things. It was, the music never suffered, but he was always about image too. He always did a lot of things, fashion, all those things were a big part of it. So he was kind of not a chameleon quite, but he was always changing his look. So the big ones on this, I would say, are Changes. Changes, everybody knows that song. Oh You Pretty Things, I like that one. Life on Mars, that's the killer one for this album. If you haven't heard that, they actually, I believe, American Horror Story, there was a carnival one, and Jessica Lange sang that quite a few times in there, and it was like just great how they used that song. But definitely Life on Mars, and there's a song for Bob Dylan I like a lot, and yeah, Andy Warhol's on this. So yeah, definitely like this. This album sounds really good, and like I said, it was a reissue, definitely. I'm not sure when it was reissued, but this was a little more solid album for me. This is one that I definitely most part liked all the way through. So I definitely recommend this for people getting into Bowie. And this is another one of those. I guess it came with, I'm not sure why this one also had that extra sleeve. And it had that other kind here. And it's on black vinyl. So not really sure why it came with two. I don't know if I swapped it out or something, because I usually try to get out those paper sleeves as quick as possible. And then it came with a lyric sheet insert. So you got side one there and side two. So that's the Bowie. And then this next one, I believe it came out in, let's say what, 82, 81, somewhere in that area. But this is the album this is the go-to album for me for Bowie, and that's Let's Dance. This was, I believe, this is like his biggest commercial success. It went into a little bit of an 80s sound, but he didn't go overboard. So to me, when I listen to it, I can tell it's from the 80s, but it doesn't feel like it's outdated to me. I think it stands up. And of course, you have great guitar work here from Stevie Ray Vaughan, which for the longest time I didn't think he got credit on there. But I thought I found it here somewhere where Stevie Ray Vaughan did get credit. And when you listen to this album, even the songs that are kind of the weaker songs, when Stevie's playing and he has his guitar work going, it makes the song. So you can't beat that. So this was, yeah, I want to see, could have sworn he gave credit. It was like this big, I don't know if it was a rumor or whatever it was for the longest time that that Stevie Ray Vaughan wasn't given credit on this album. And even in the video for China Girl, the solo part, I think Bowie's standing on the beach playing guitar. That's Stevie Ray Vaughan's solo part. But David Bowie's acting it out, I guess. Yeah, I wish I could have did my homework. Wish I had done my homework a little more here, because I'm pretty sure that Stevie Ray Vaughan did get credit on here. Oh yeah, there he goes. Okay, so on here you had bass was Carmine Reyes, and then you have guitar, you had Nile Rodgers, and lead guitar was Stevie Ray Vaughan. So yeah, so he did get his credit. This is a reissue. I had an original copy of this, but it wasn't so great. And then when I saw the reissue come out, I went ahead and jumped on it. They kept the original packaging look. It does have an 80s look to it. And this one I do need to get into a different cover, record slip there. And it's on black vinyl. So the big stuff on this album, so the track listing here is Modern Love. I think that's probably my favorite song on the whole album. I just love that song. And actually, I think the album starts with that. So, and then China Girl, that was the big hit. Let's Dance, that's another great song off this album. And then another one that got some, I don't know if it got radio play, but it's well known from Bowie. It's Cat People, and that was from the movie Cat People. And that's one of the songs. I never really, I don't want to say I didn't like the song, but I didn't really get into it that much. But as I got a little older and I appreciated Stevie Ray Vaughan more, I like Cat People now, so it kind of grew on me. So that's the album cover there. And like I said, that's David Bowie's big success. And I did see something just now. So you're always learning something. I never got into, like, I know people who are way into, they know every member of the band and who they played with and who they were. And I love that. I wish I did have that knowledge. I was more paying attention to the sound. I always like a good melody and lyrics. Lyrics are huge for me. So I always kind of, when my friends were going, oh, this guy played on this album, that, I was more going, oh, what is this? What do you think this word means? What do you think they're saying here? And a lot of times, nothing. It just worked and it fit. And sometimes you get like 2 lines that sound really cool and are quotable, but don't go anywhere. But I'm always trying to read into the lyrics. Go, what are they saying here? What's the story? I guess I'm always looking for a story. So anyway, but I saw here, which one was it? I think it was China Girl. And I saw that lyrics and music by David Bowie and Iggy Pop. So Iggy Pop looks like he was a co-writer on that. So that's pretty cool. And I'm just now getting into Iggy Pop and the Stooges. I haven't checked out Iggy on his own, but the Stooges I have. I know I definitely have at least one of their albums. I can't remember if I bought a second one. But records have allowed me to explore a little bit more, it seems like, or maybe I'm just in that stage in my life where I'm branching out, trying to hit uncomfortable zones, or try to listen to bands that I've always heard of but never heard. So I think I'm doing a lot more of that with vinyl, and it's making me take my time. That's the cool thing about vinyl, is you put it on, you sit back, and you listen. You need to be kind of like focused on it, and you're paying attention to it. So it's a whole experience. So that's what I'm loving about my kind of my re-falling in love with vinyl kind of thing. So anyway, you have David Bowie. I have two more here. This one, now this came out, I believe, in '76, and to me it looks way more modern than '76. Like, I always felt it was like '80s or something, but that's '76, and this is a compilation. This is a reissue. Yeah, that's why I pulled this out. I wanted to show you. This is a cool reissue on clear vinyl. Please don't butcher me for the way I'm pulling this out, but it is a cool album. This thing does sound really good. I'm enjoying it. And it's in another one of those sleeves where it has some protection there, so it's not like being up against paper, so I think I'm okay with that sleeve. So it changes one Bowie, and see where I feel that his albums sort of lack that greatness all the way through. These greatest hits make up for it. He has solid greatest hits albums, or I guess this isn't greatest hits, this is a compilation album. So this has Space Oddity, which is a big one. John, I'm Only Dancing. No, yeah, I do like that one. Changes, Ziggy Stardust, Suffragette City, Gene Genie, Diamond Dogs, Rebel Rebel, Young Americans, Fame, and Golden Years. So that's definitely one I can put on and enjoy without not liking it, I guess you could say. So the last Bowie I have here is Bowie Legacy. And I believe there were two parts to this, either that or that one. One of them has another part to it. But between these two, this is all I need for the Bowie. And then the albums were kind of cool how they did it. So they're not colored or anything, just regular black vinyl, which is fine. But the middles, they put some artwork in there. So you have, it's like half Bowie face, like a half cartoon face. And then they did the same thing on the other side. We had this funky zombie looking Bowie or something. I'm not sure what that is, but it's pretty cool that they kind of, did something with it. Please don't butcher me. I'm trying to be careful with these things. Some people are very particular how albums are handled, and I understand that. And then the other, it's a two record set. The side 3, it's kind of a combination of his Let's Dance picture, and then this one, kind of sideways. I'm not sure what that one is. A little bit later. So these pictures seem to progress like through the years. Start off with the earlier Bowie, and then go to the later Bowie. So it's pretty cool. So on this, it's a cool gatefold. See what we have inside. We have, if I can get it out. Okay. It's a very cool, like a little mini poster of Bowie. It's pretty cool. And they did a good job, the original sleeves. So I always thought that was Cher for some reason, but I think it was a model or something. So this was the original record sleeve, and this has the songs and credits on that one. And the second sleeve, give me one sec. Oh, there's another little mini poster. Bowie later on. It's a good picture of him. That'd be kind of cool to put up. And then you have the inner sleeve there, and you can see why I took it out, because it's just cardboard. So this is some information about Bowie. I think it was written by Dylan Jones, talking about Bowie a little bit there. But Bowie, I was always interested in him. Come to appreciate him a lot more as far as his art. Understanding art was a big, being artistic, not just musically, lyrically, presentation, everything. Bowie was, you know, you have to admire what he accomplished. So, you know, the inner side there. And so the songs on this are, I mean, Let's Dance. There goes my dog barking. Let's Dance, Ashes to Ashes, Under Pressure with Queen, Life on Mars, Changes, The Man Who Sold the World, Space Oddity, Starman, Ziggy Stardust, The Gene Genie, Rebel Rebel, Young Americans, Golden Years, Modern Love, China Girl, Fame, Sound and Vision, Heroes, Where Are We Now, and Lazarus. So that takes you up to Lazarus all the way to the end. So it's not in order as far as the way the songs are done, but I like how they put them together, and it covers early Bowie, you know, Space Oddity, all the way up to Lazarus. So killer. So if you're looking to get into Bowie, this is probably a good start right here from somebody who is not a complete Bowie fanatic, but I appreciate Bowie, and I think this would be a good start right here if you're going to get into Bowie. So definitely recommend that one. And everything's starting to fall now. You guys stay there, behave yourself. Okay, so my last one is another album from the 80s. And this came out in 88. And I think they had other albums, but this is the one that I always liked. I thought this was a solid album all the way through. This is Edie Brickell and New Bohemians. I used to call it the New Bohemians, and I realized later there's no the in there. This is Shooting Rubber Bands at the Stars, and does it tell me? Came out in 88, and I remember them playing What I Am. And usually when they play a song over and over again, you usually get tired of it, but for some reason, never even at one point ever got tired of that song. I had the single, I think I had a cassette single back when, and I don't remember what the opposite side was on that, but I used to play that in my car. I think even my car ate the tape at one point. So this was 88, Edie Brickell, New Bohemians. Some cool artwork there. You just spin it around. Whenever somebody's standing upright at some point there. It's in good shape. It's I think it's an original. I haven't really done my complete homework on it, but I believe this is an original album from what I can tell. And it even has a little record ring there, so definitely has some aging on it. Original sleeve, and looks like I haven't swapped this one out yet. But here you have that side of the album cover, and it has the lyrics, and I don't know who's drawing a little fish on there. Maybe it's Edie, maybe she's the artist there. That's her little figures. And there you go, and that's her with the band, and maybe a high school picture there. It looks kind of like a high school picture. Black vinyl, definitely not 180. It's a thinner, so that's what kind of tells me it's could possibly be an original. I don't know if it was first pressing or not. I don't really, every once in a while I'll look just to see what the value of a record is, but I have no intention really to sell my collection. So I really don't care. A lot of the times I just want an album that sounds good. So, and this one does. That one sounds, for being around since 88, it definitely sounds really good. So definitely enjoyed that one. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. And if you have any more comments about these artists, definitely leave me some comments. That'd be great. Looks like I'm probably gonna be picking up with Leon Bridges next. I have all his albums, so I'll be talking about him next and moving on from there. And then definitely stay tuned for my Friday shows. I try to stick with like my Monday shows, talking about going through my collection and doing that. And I take Friday and kind of just switch it up a little bit. So you'll see me going to a thrift store. You'll see me, I've been to Walmart, all those different things. And I hope to have some guests on soon. You saw I brought one guest on my daughter Allie for the Beatles, and that turned out pretty good, so that was enjoyable. So I'm hoping to get some more people on for some Friday episodes, just to you know, maybe pick some artists and go, hey, what are your favorite 5 of this artist, and we'll pick and compare, or just sit back and let them tell me, you know, what are your favorite all-time top 10 albums, and we can talk about them. So if you have any ideas for that, also definitely put some comments in there, something you'd like to see for me to do, or to bring a guest on to do. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Definitely hit that subscribe button so you know when I put new stuff out, and notification, because that tells you when the new stuff's out, and comment, like, all that fun stuff, and I will see you guys next time. All right, you guys take care. Bye.